Good evening, Minneapolis. Check, check, check. You look so beautiful out there. So, it was 2010. I was traveling to Western Washington by plane, looking out the window. It was shortly after the BP oil spill, and I was thinking about the oil spill and how flying on a plane that needs oil was such a vicious cycle that I was actively a part of. And like everyone else, I was deeply affected by the oil spill. It was devastating to see birds and fish just covered in oil, seeing how everyone's life was disrupted, livelihoods lost. I felt this weight of helplessness and hopelessness, wondering if the earth would ever recover or if we as humans would ever change our ways to help protect the earth. As I was thinking about all of this, a vision suddenly came into my mind's eye, and I could see the oil spill from above, and then I was brought down into the ocean, and this voice whispered to me, "If everyone prays for the water will be healed." So I started praying for the water to be healed. And then in my vision, the sun shone down through the water, lighting up the ocean. It became clean and clear, and it sparkled with light. And I felt that weight of helplessness and hopelessness lift off of me. So I started praying for the water every day. I'd sing to the water, and I'd pray for the water wherever I was. In the following summer, I stumbled upon a Facebook group called Water Walk 2011. It was started by 4 grandmothers who were walking from the 4 directions, each carrying a pail of water, one from the Gulf of Mexico, one from the Pacific Ocean, one from Thunder Bay, and one from the Atlantic. And they walked for months, carrying their pails of water, praying for the water. It grew and grew, and people gathered to help carry this water. My cousin was one of them. She said she could hear the water singing to her, reassuring her that she wouldn't spill a drop if she ran. So she ran, carrying this pail of water. The 4 pails of water eventually met in Meskwaki. The people poured their water and their prayers together and then poured that into Lake Michigan. Within the Water Walkers Facebook group, there was a YouTube link to a song, The Water Song by Dorene, brought forth by her grandson Meskwaki. Ni be ki jage iku ki mi kwe chue ki jawe ni miku. Dorene had attended a water conference with Dr. Masaru Emoto, who said the very least we should do every day is speak to the water. Water, we love you. We thank you. We respect you. For those of you that don't know, the late Dr. Masaru Emoto was a Japanese scientist who studied the effects of words and thoughts on water. He would have words taped on a jar of water or have people think and say things to water like peace, love, war, hate. Then he would freeze the water and photograph the molecular structure of the water crystals. All the water that was spoken to in a positive way were fully formed crystals, and those that were spoken to in a negative way were distorted or unformed. So he basically proved that since we are mostly water, what we think and say affects us too. So every day on the way to drop Meskwaki off at school, they crossed the Mississippi River, Dorene and Meskwaki. They would say, "Water, we love you. We thank you. We respect you." Then one day, Meskwaki said, "Nokomis, why can't we say this in our language?" So Dorene got help translating it into Ojibwe, and they would say that prayer in Ojibwe whenever they crossed the river. Then Meskwaki said, "Nokomis, why don't we sing the words? Don't you think the water would like it to be sung?" So she thought about it and came up with a tune like a lullaby. And they started to sing to the water. And when the water walk happened, they shared this song and said, "We have permission to learn it and sing it as long as we share the story of how it came about." Ni be ki jage iku ki mi kwe chue ni mi ku ki jawe ni mi ku. So I've learned this song and I've started singing it to the water everywhere I go. I've sung it to the ocean, to lakes, rivers, creeks. I sing it to the water that flows from the faucets while I'm washing the dishes when the rain and snow fall. A couple of years ago, I was at Como Lake singing the water song. It was a beautiful, cloudy, gray day. I stood on the dock and I started singing. Ni be ki jage iku ki mi kwe chue ni mi ku ki jawe ni mi ku. I sang it 4 times through, and when I was done, I just took a deep breath. And then the wind blew, the clouds parted, and the sun shone on my face. And I looked out over the lake, and it was sparkling with rainbow-like colors dancing on the surface. And then an eagle flew over me, and I said, "Oh, not that sacred." And then I said, "Yeah, I am. I am that sacred."